estate agents. Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host and business partner, Joey Sampaga. And he is the man with the plan. How are you doing today, Joey?
What's going on?
Well, you know, we've got a great guest with us today. We're going to have a fun show.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. We are the Real Estate Marketing Maniacs, and today we have with us Robert Joffe with the Joffe Group at Launch Real Estate. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, pleasure to be here.
Yeah, for
Looking
sure.
forward to it.
You know, I'm ready to learn some wisdom from you.
Yes, lots.
I'm not sure I can give it to you, but I'll do my best.
Oh, I think you've got plenty. You got plenty to share. Why don't we start with, a lot of people listening here in the Valley anyway probably know who you are and kind of your focus and your niche. But why don't we share how long you've been in the business and then what got you into real estate?
You know, I've been doing this for 34 years. I started when I was in college. I got my real estate license in 1984.
Wow.
I think that's 34 years almost.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I actually bought a couple houses when I was in college, fixed them up, sold them, that kind of a thing, and just really liked the entrepreneurial aspect of having your own business, and that's kind of where it started, and it's just been growing ever since.
34 years. So you've seen how the outskirts didn't used to have outskirts.
Yeah. In fact, that's where I really started. I started in the new home business.
Okay.
I didn't start in the luxury business till basically 2000. I used to own a company called New Home Concepts. I don't know if you guys are...
You know, I've heard. Yeah, I remember that.
So we used to sell houses in the malls.
In the malls, that's
Yeah.
right. It was.
So-
It was like a purple and yellow.
It's actually, I had
something like that,
stores,
or-
so it wasn't the
Okay.
kiosk concept,
kiosk.
but it was before the internet,
Got it.
and we would market all the new homes inside the stores inside of a mall, like a 1,200 square foot store.
Sure.
7 locations here in the Valley, 3 in Vegas, 3 in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Valley alone, when I sold it in 1999, we were selling 1,700 homes a year out of the malls.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an incredible business.
Crazy.
Yeah, but I was all first-time home buyers. So you mentioned
Sure,
the outskirts.
absolutely.
That's really where I started selling.
Yeah. Gosh, the mall. I mean, that's perfect though. Foot traffic, right?
Yeah, I mean, you go to, my philosophy has always been go where the people are.
Yeah.
And, it's changed now. Now
Yeah.
people can search for homes in their bed, so to speak.
Right.
But before the internet, one location where everything was in one place, all the different floor plans, all the different models of all the different builders. It was really a wonderful concept. Worked great, and
Yeah.
1,700 a year, pretty good.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So you've transitioned into the luxury market. How long ago was that?
Pretty much when I sold.
So back-
I'm sitting
okay.
there. I sold that business in 1999. I'm like, what am I going to do? I lived in Arcadia, which really was, I guess, a luxury market, but I never really sold homes in there when I lived there. So I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. I ended up buying a house in Arcadia, fixed it up, and then sold that, and then it just kind of moved on from there. And pretty much my business for the next 10 years was all Arcadia.
Okay. What was that? How did that decision take place? I mean, once you sold off the other company, how did you decide, I want to focus luxury. That's just where I feel like I need to be.
Well, I'm not sure I did.
Okay.
I think I kind of lucked into it. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what am I going to do? I sold the company. I was kind of bored after 6 months of doing nothing, and it just kind of fell into place, to be honest with you. And then Arcadia just took off. So I'm living there, and what better place to start my business? And obviously the price of homes in Arcadia are a lot higher, and it just kind of fell into place.
Okay. All right.
So I'd like to say that I had this brilliant idea, but I really did the same thing. I took that mall concept, bought a home, fixed it up, and sat the house every single day. So that was my office. I had the desk, I had the chairs, I had a big screen TV, and I sat that until it sold, and then just got another listing, and then bought another house, and that was my office, and kind of became the Arcadia expert, and it just, like I said, took off from there.
So was it scary to start in your own neighborhood, though?
It was.
With your neighbors?
Yeah. It's something that I hadn't done before. I always had a location to go to, and but it happened fast. And my wife was instrumental in it. She does all of our marketing, and she built a brand for me. She's always been in marketing, and that's what she got her degree in college. And guys, it was I've been blessed. It was just incredible timing.
So I'm curious, what was your brand after New Home Concept?
So it was called ARJ Investments.
ARJ
and
Investments.
ARJ stood for my kid's name and my name and last name Joffe. And just that brand became very powerful within Arcadia.
Wow.
It took off, and I was kind of the go-to person, for many years.
Yeah. I remember that story. I don't know if you remember telling me that story before, but you told me about how you did just sit open house like
All the
every
time.
day,
10
all
years,
week.
pretty much 10 years in a row.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you.
Hey, I still preach it. I still sit open house. I'm not as much into them anymore, but I still, when new agents come to me and they ask me what you need to do, I'm a full believer in open houses.
Yeah, for sure. If agents are watching and they're thinking about, what's a big difference between, besides price point, between working the luxury market and just your standard, resale market, I guess you could say, or that
350
350 to 750. I mean, is the biggest difference the marketing?
Yeah, it's not even the marketing. I mean, truly, you're for a $350,000 house or a $3.5 million house, you're doing the same types of things. It's just a different marketplace, but you're really doing almost the identicals. You're still doing open houses. You're still doing some print ads. You're still doing virtual tours and photos. It's not that much of a difference.
Okay.
So we treat the $350,000 houses just like the $3.5 million. When you get in $5 million and above, sometimes we're going to do some special videos. We'll do some anchored videos by some news anchors, things like that.
That's cool.
And have them actually walk it through it. So that changes a little bit. And then you get in the Wall Street Journal and New York Times and stuff like that for the more expensive homes. But it's essentially the same.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I've heard some stories, or I've seen some things where they'll even have like a car dealership, come with a couple of cars for the open house and just kind of liven the event up a little bit. But
so I'm not a big fan of that.
Okay.
It's popular. People do it. I applaud that they do it. I'm just, it seems a little fluffy to me. You see that stuff on TV, $1 million listing and stuff like that. But I'm more getting right down to the house and not all the peripheral other things that are going on with the band playing and the taco guy making tacos and rolled cigars. Again, love going to those parties and seeing them, but it's just not my gig.
Got it. So you brought up $1 million listing.
Love it.
Is it?
Love the show.
It's far off base though, right?
My wife always told me that it's not the truth. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Then one day I see my buddy on the show. He's the LA guy, the LA deal, and it's an agent here, and they put him in the freezer, some kind of literally they had a kabushka on him, the Russian hat, and it was all fake, and I knew it was fake because he didn't have that client, and that kind of bummed me out.
Oh no!
But I still watch the shows religiously. Real Estate Wars is another one, and I don't know what it is, but these shows motivate me.
Really?
I love watching them before I go to bed, and they motivate me. They totally motivate me.
So is your favorite the LA one, or do you like the New York? And
I like those two. LA and New York are the best. But there's this new one called Real Estate Wars. It's more interesting. But yeah, all of them. I dig it. I know it's cheesy, but man, I dig it.
Not quite the same though in the real world. Huh?
So if they came here and said we wanted to do Arizona or Phoenix.
So I've been offered. Honestly,
Really?
I've been offered several shows, and
Wow.
it's not my thing.
Sure.
Got it.
Below Deck, you guys know that one?
Is that
That's a Bravo show. But that's a whole other deal.
That's
but
the ships or the yachts, right?
Correct.
Yachts?
Okay. They're offered that one too, but it's just that's not me.
Oh, you got offered to get on that one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so you have a yacht.
No, I don't have a yacht. No, it's a show. It's a long story. Let's move on. Let's offer real estate.
That's so funny.
No yacht. No
awesome.
plane. No yacht. I just sell houses. I got a truck.
That's great. Oh yeah, there you go. So tell us what do you think was one of the biggest obstacles, I guess, when you decided on a niche? What was the one thing that you felt like you really had to overcome?
So I think it was being a little young and dealing with older folks and getting their confidence. So you need to walk the walk. You be able to talk the talk. You can't be cocky. You can't be overly aggressive. When you're, normally if you're buying $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million house, it's usually someone established, has been there for a while. Nowadays, you got these young kids that are, I don't know where they're getting the money, but they're buying these houses. But when I first started, just anything in general, it was, I was a punk kid. And to earn their respect, so I always dressed properly. I always acted appropriately. my hair was cut, clean cut, the whole thing. And just getting their respect was a big thing. And fortunately, I was able to do that, and I was able to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Okay, all right. So you are seeing some of the younger generation buying these big homes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's kids. I'm 50, going to be 54 in February, and a lot of houses I sell are a lot of younger people, and they're buying $3, $4, $5 million houses. They're buying in cash, and they're kids.
Wow,
and they're great people, and I appreciate them, but it's amazing the amount of money that's out there right now.
Okay. Do you see most of the buyers are out of state, or?
No, I wouldn't say that most of them, but more than normal. In the last couple of years, there's been more people coming from the Midwest and California and such like that. And I think it's actually going to continue with all the disasters that are happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting to see that. It's really sad. Good for Arizona. But, with everything that's gone on, we're starting to see those people starting to come here and, don't want to live on the coast.
Yeah. Well, I would think that we would see a lot of, with just some of the situations in California now, too. A lot of people maybe.
It's crazy.
Whether it's taxes or fires, right?
Well, tax is a big one, too.
Tax is big.
Yeah. So the new law that's going into effect, I think Arizona's ripe. We, as long as the economy stays good, stock market stays well, we're ripe. We're not at the peak at this point.
Yeah, a lot of jobs coming here too.
A lot of jobs.
Good. What would you tell agents that are listening today if they said, you know what, my business just hasn't taken off like I was hoping? I've been a little bit slow. Besides open houses, what would you tell them they need to go do?
Well, the problem is that they don't do open houses.
Yeah.
So they want to do everything but open houses.
Right.
And, I think with the new generation of agents, the mobile phone, computers are too important, and the personable aspect of it is not what it should be. I like to meet the people. I don't want to text over everything and have our conversations with texts and emails, this, that, and the other.
Right.
I think that it's more personable. So if you're not going to do open, they're going to do open houses, but they've got to go to events. There's so many events here in Phoenix and Scottsdale. Get involved with the 2030 Club if they're younger kids. Get involved in some charities and those type of things, and that's the way to meet people.
Right.
But you got to get out there and you got to go to where the people are. The people that are looking for homes normally want to see and touch and feel the house. That's why I preach open houses.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you think it's too? And I know you've gotten into the luxury niche, but do you think that someone can become too niche, or do you think that the more niche you get, the better off you're going to be?
When you're starting, you can't be niche. Listen, it's a beautiful thing at this point in my career where I can work where I live, eat, play. But when I started, I would go to Mesa, I'd go to Peoria, I'd go to Rio Verde. I go wherever you got to go. So, there's very few that can have a niche. And it's still today. I'm in the Biltmore, North Central, and North Scottsdale. But my niche personally is Arcadia, Biltmore, Paradise Valley. But yesterday I showed a house at 73rd Avenue, Pinnacle Peak. I fell in love with this house. I was called on the house. I love it, and I spent 3 hours out there yesterday.
Wow.
So, niche is. I don't like having a niche in real estate. You got to be able to spread yourself out.
Okay.
Ideally, you want to work where you play.
Yeah.
And live, but you can't. It's very difficult.
Or with people you like.
Yeah, right. I like everybody.
Yeah.
And I like it. I like it all.
I guess it could eventually be a niche, but it takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
Hard work.
There's very few people that have. And again, I feel like I have a niche because I'm kind of known as that Arcadia guy.
Yeah.
I'll do more business in Paradise Valley this year than in Arcadia.
All right.
Which is a whole good thing for us. So.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And so the luxury market, before we move to the next segment, it's been really well. It's done well this year. So
we had until last week the highest house ever sold this year, $12,750,000, and then one of my colleagues just with another company just sold a house for $15,600,000.
Wow.
Very few homes over $10 million are sold in Arizona this year, so we've had a couple of them already.
Nice.
I think we've had actually 3.
Wow.
So over $5 million is there's still not a ton of them, but yes, the bottom line is yes, the luxury market is doing well, and I think it's going to continue that way.
All right. Well, you ready to get in the ring?
Let's do it.
Let's get in the ring with the Maniacs. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Know what you know and know what you don't know.
Okay.
So concentrate on what you know. Don't be Mr. Everything, Mrs. Everything to everybody.
Yeah.
Know what you know, and don't spend time doing things that you don't know.
All right.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. How about a book recommendation?
All right. So I'm a big reader, but I'm not a big reader of important stuff.
Okay.
Book recommendation: any Vince Flynn book there is.
Okay.
That gets me away from things. I mean, I love reading. I read a lot, but it gets me away when I don't have to read about businesses and people and economy, and I don't do any of that.
So what kind of stories?
Assassination, protecting the president.
Oh, okay.
Protecting the world. Vince Flynn, guys, he's the greatest.
All right. So some fiction stuff.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, that's different then. Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Cool. How about a productivity tool or software that you use?
Contactually. Have you guys heard of that one?
I have.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Really keeps up with everybody. It forces you to do it on a daily basis. It's my favorite.
Okay. All right. Awesome. One last question. Have you drawn from the mask?
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
All right. What'd you get?
What is my favorite superhero? And why? I got to be honest. I'm kind of boring on this one, guys. I don't have a lot of superhero fans. I guess I would have to say Batman because I kind of grew up with that, but couldn't really tell you why. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, maybe it's the black shirt, right?
Yeah, there you go.
If any agents are listening or out there and they want to reach out to you, are you okay sharing?
Absolutely. I love meeting with agents. I'm happy to give advice, happy to talk, help them with deals. Honestly, they don't even have to be in my company. Okay. I enjoy it. I really enjoy giving back to my industry.
Awesome. How would somebody reach out to you?
They could email me at robert@thejoffegroup.com or 602-989-8300.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Robert.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure.
Great. It's been fun. All right, until next time, this is Jeff Underwood along with
Joey Sampaga.
We are the Real Estate Marketing Maniacs coming to you from Security Title Studio. Have a fantastic day. Take care.
Adios.
See ya. Good job.
Cool.